Welcome to the VCU Health Perioperative Surgical Services. This video demonstrates the step-by-step approved method of how to scrub in VCU Health OR suites. By the end of this video, you will know appropriate attire in semi-restricted and fully restricted areas, how to perform a surgical hand scrub, how to don and doff sterile gown and gloves, and what to do and what not to do to maintain the sterile field. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, for entering the semi-restricted and fully restricted areas. Semi-restricted areas are designated by red lines on the floor. The appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, in the semi-restricted areas are hospital-issued scrubs, shoes with shoe covers, and all hair covered by the provided disposable bouffant or skull cap. Facial hair and beards must also be covered. T-shirts should not exceed past the scrub sleeve, and unsterile team members should wear scrub jackets to reduce skin shedding. It is not appropriate to have your mask hanging by your neck. Fully restricted areas include all of the OR suites, which require proper PPE. Our hospital initiative is bare below the elbows. This means no watches and no jewelry is to be worn in the surgical suites. Your nails should be cut short without nail polish. Also, a mask covering your mouth and your nose, as well as eye protection, is required. These items are located outside of the OR doors. When entering the OR rooms, be sure to introduce yourself to the staff, in particular the circulating RN, and add your name to the appropriate areas on the status checks communication board. Be alert when moving in the sterile environment, and stay at least 2 feet from the blue draped tables and stainless steel canisters and instrumentation. Gowning and gloving. If a scrub personnel is able to assist you in gowning and gloving, check the integrity of the packages of your gown and gloves by checking for tears and noting the expiration date. Peel open the package and pass your gown to the scrub person without touching the inner contents. Touching the inner contents would contaminate the package, and you must retrieve a new one from the cabinets. From this point, you may perform a surgical hand scrub, which is covered later in this video. If a scrub person cannot assist you in gloving, choose a flat surface other than the back table or the Mayo stand to open your sterile field. In order to create the sterile field, inspect the package for tears and expiration as you normally would. To create your sterile field, open the package, position it with the first flap facing away from you. Open the first flap, then the sides, making sure to only manipulate the 1-inch perimeter of the sterile field. The last flap is open towards you and back away from your field. Take care not to hover or touch anything in the sterile field that you have just created. Anything that falls below the top of the field is considered contaminated. When popping your gloves onto the field, do not shake them or touch the inner contents. Simply peel the top across completely and pop onto your sterile field, then back away. You may now perform your surgical hand scrub. The surgical hand scrub. Once your gown and glove are open, step outside of the OR suite to complete the surgical scrubbing procedure. Begin by rolling your sleeves up, opening your chosen scrub solution, and complete a normal hand wash with soap and rinse. Under running water, clean under the edges of each nail. Grab the scrub brush and bring it to a lather. Begin scrubbing your nails on one hand with the brush side. Do this for 30 seconds. You may now use the sponge side to scrub. To scrub your hand, imagine your fingers of having 4 planes and complete 10 strokes per plane, making sure to include the wedges of your fingers. Complete circular motions on the front and back of your palms for 10 strokes. To scrub your arms, move in circular motions and levels up to 2 inches above your elbow. Repeat this same scrubbing sequence on the other arm, starting with the 30-second nail scrub with the brush side. When rinsing, make sure to always position your arms in an upward manner to avoid recontamination by encouraging water or soap to drip away from your fingers and down the elbow. To enter the OR suite, walk in backwards using your back to open the door. What not to do during the surgical hand scrub. Be sure not to forget your PPE, such as your mask and your eyewear, before starting the scrub process. Hit the sink or drop the sponge while scrubbing. If the sponge drops, you must start over completely. If you hit the sink or faucet, you must scrub that spot for a minimum of 10 seconds. Go back and forth through the water when rinsing the scrub. Drip down your fingertips. How to don sterile gown and gloves. Grab the towel on your sterile field. Dedicate the top half of the towel for one arm, making sure to bend at the waist. Dry from the fingertips down to the elbow using a blotting motion. Use the other half of the towel for the other arm and discard in the trash. To grab the gown off your sterile field, make certain not to touch above the neckline because this portion will unfold as part of the front of your gown. Place your hands in the sleeve opening on the sides. Be aware of any equipment near you to not contaminate the sleeves. Do not drop your hands to your sides or lift them too high in the air. An unsterile team member will secure the back of your gown. To glove, make sure not to extend your hand past the edge of the white cuff. Open the glove packet and ensure the sides of the packet do not refold over the gloves. Use your hands as pinchers to glove your hands. Grab the glove thumb slide down and fingers towards your body and stabilize with a pinch under the glove and pinch on the top with your other hand to flip the glove over. The goal is to cover both cuffs. You may adjust your gloves after your cuffs are covered with your gloves. Don your second pair of gloves. With the left hand on the short string and the right hand on the card near the yellow areas, pass to either your circulating RN or your scrub person and spin to the left. Retrieve the string only and secure. The sterile areas of the gown are now 2 inches below the neckline to the umbilicus, and your hands and arms circumferentially up to 2 inches above the elbow. You are now able to manipulate the top of the sterile tables, the operative field, the prep and draped patient, and the sterile instruments and equipment. If someone is able to assist you with gowning and gloving as mentioned before, then approach your scrub person after aseptically opening your gown and your gloves and performing your surgical hand scrub. Your scrub will hand in your right hand a towel to dry off. Blot dry as you would normally, remembering to bend at the waist. Discard the towel in the red biohazard bag. Your scrub person will reveal the gown for you to insert your arms. She will create large cuffs at the top to prevent contamination. Remember not to drop your hands too high or too low. A non-sterile person will come secure the Velcro at the top as well as at the bottom tie at the waist. Pull your right hand beyond the cuff of the gown. The right underglove will be presented to you. Help your scrub with putting on your left underglove by taking your right hand and stretch the glove. Repeat the same stretching motion with your top gloves. Spin, handing the card off to your scrub, and secure the tie at the waist. What not to do while sterile. Do not touch your face, put your hands in your underarms, or drop your hands to the side. If you have contaminated yourself or have any doubt of compromising the sterile field, anything else, or other scrub personnel, announce it to the team and immediately doff your gown and gloves, making sure not to touch sterile surfaces. Doffing gown and gloves. To doff sterile gown and gloves, pop the string at the waist, pull at your chest, and roll so that the front of the gown is contained in the roll, and use the glove to glove and skin to skin technique for taking off the gloves. Place in the red biohazard trash bag. You may now leave the OR suite. Be sure to perform hand hygiene upon exiting the OR. Leaving the unit. Before leaving the floor, take off your shoe covers and put on and button up the disposable lab jacket. You may wear a clean disposable cap if you wish, or you may remove it before leaving. Do not leave the unit wearing shoe covers, masks, or protective eyewear, or without a disposable lab coat. You should now be able to confidently move around the unit in the appropriate attire and PPE, don and doff sterile PPE, and maintain the sterile field. Thanks for watching.